This is just my PSA to everyone who is getting married. Take it from me, and as much as you think that your marriage is forever and your relationship with them is forever, please draft a prenup and have your future husband or wife sign that prenup. Because getting divorced really fucking sucks. It's really expensive. This would have all been avoided if I had a prenup going into the marriage. So learn from my mistakes and listen to what they tell you and sign the prenup.
So I see women on this app like crashing out because of how horrible like their ex-husbands are, their baby dads are, just like ruining their life and just, you know, making their life so difficult. And I'm like, oh my God, that's so horrible what those women are going through. And now I'm one of them. I filed for divorce 2 months ago. I've been trying to look for an apartment, and the places that I'm looking at, I need to make 3 times the rent to be able to rent them. And unfortunately, with my job, I'm a CNA. I don't make 3 times the rent. So I need a child support order to be able to add to my income so I can meet the requirement. And I've been trying to get into some sort of settlement with my soon-to-be ex-husband on that. And basically, he is blackmailing me, I guess. He wants me to sign away all rights I have to his military retirement. He is in the Army. He has been in for 18 years. He'll be retiring in 2 years. And I've been married to him the entire time. So the retirement's a marital asset. So I am entitled to part of it. We've been going back and forth and fighting about it, and I just can't take it anymore. I just want to leave. I just want to move out, and I just want to start my life over. So I offer to sign away my right to the military retirement in return for spousal support and the entirety of the savings account that we have. I send the proposal to my lawyer and tell her this is what I'm proposing to do. And she comes back and says, well, this is a bad idea. And then she says, well, you could get a temporary order from the court for the child support, but that's going to cost you $4,000 in legal fees, and it may not be binding because it's only temporary, so you may not even be able to use that to really add to your income. And she goes into this long thing, which I appreciate. I appreciate her telling me the legal stuff, because she's basically telling me you are an idiot to sign this away. And she does all the numbers, and the numbers don't make any sense. Basically, I'm giving away more to get less. She's basically trying to persuade me to kind of wait this out till the final order happens because it will go in my favor if I can just wait it out. But I can't wait it out because I have to stay in the house with this person. Yesterday, he called me the nanny. He said that I'm going to pay you child support and you're just going to be the nanny for my kids. When I told him, like, I need to try and stay in the district so our kids can keep going to their school. And the neighborhood that we're in is a little bit more expensive. So I need the child support order. And he said, it's not my problem. It's not my problem that you can't afford a place for them to live. In fact, I hope that's how it plays out. Because I want the kids to see that you can't support them. I want the kids to see that you can't afford for them to live in a nice place. And I want them to know that they're going to have to go through a hardship because of what you did. Your pressure campaign that he's been putting me under for the last 2 months since I filed is really him trying to get me to drop the whole thing. I honestly believe that. I honestly believe he just wants me to drop the whole thing. If I went to him and I said, okay, I'm just going to drop the divorce, got rid of my lawyer and then didn't do anything, I think he'd drop his lawyer and we would just go about life like before. I honestly believe that. I just think he doesn't want to not be married anymore to me. Not because he loves me or anything like that, but just because this is a big inconvenience to him. It's a big inconvenience, and he has to do all of these things he doesn't want to do, and all he wants to really do is just go to work, come home, play video games, watch some corn, and nap. And I'm disrupting all of his plans with my annoying, irritating divorce. This is very long, but I'm hoping that a woman's going to see me, see what I'm going through, and say to yourself, I don't want to go through that. And it could easily be me, because it could easily be you. I am not special. I'm not special or unique. I'm just a woman. I'm just a woman with 2 kids. What can happen to you too?
Yeah, man, divorce ain't no game, man. I'm sorry them 2 ladies is going through that, man. Look at this next clip.
I don't think people understand how expensive it is to get divorced. So when they speak on people taking a long time to get divorced, choosing not to get divorced, the idea of how expensive a divorce is astronomical, and it's way past like lawyer fees and mediation fees. Once the divorce is complete and you become the person like me that maintains the marital property, that shift of the 1 income to the 2 income, it really knocks you off your feet in a way that you kind of cannot and do not prepare for. I don't know how to explain the cycle of being thankful that you are able to pay your bills, and then opening up your account and realizing you have $27 left. The very definition of house poor, the very definition of living paycheck to paycheck. Like, understanding that there's groceries in the fridge, that there's lights paid, and there's gas is still on this month, and you have just enough gas to get back and forth to work and pick your kids up. Debt wants a seat at the table. Debt has something to say. God forbid an emergency happens. God forbid something out the blue just comes around. You have no wiggle room. And then the thought of people saying, just like downsize, the amount of money that's going to take to downsize, I might as well stay on this hamster wheel until it gets better. But then you have to grin and bear it because you're blessed. You're blessed. You're blessed to have this job. You're blessed to be able to even pay these things. So you feel bad complaining. You feel bad for saying, bro, I want to get off of this ride.
I'm gonna tell y'all while I'm sitting here looking crazy getting ready for the Octane concert. Don't get married! Oh my God. Oh my God. My husband asked for a divorce and he left me, right? Cool, whatever. You guys know the story. So I gave my husband a divorce. I served him like he asked. He said he wanted to be divorced. I said, bet. I got the lawyer, hired the lawyer. Boom. I'm running money. Okay, I'm throwing out checks. It's fine. Then today, the bitch called me and it's like, so for us to finalize your divorce is $6K. What? She said, yeah, it's $6K. I said, girl, what? She said, yeah. She said, then they said, we can do $4,200 if you pay in full today. I said, y'all not getting that $4,200 up out of me. I got shit I gotta do. That is not expendable right now. This bitch looked at me and said, okay, well, the only option that you have is to drop the case. I said, excuse me? She said, yeah, that would be the only option left. I said, and so I just paid y'all $6,000 for what? Because I paid them $6K already. I already paid them $6K. They want another $6K. And now she's telling me if I drop this case, the $6K that I already paid them just...
Yeah, marriage is like one of those things that if it goes good, it's good. If it goes bad, it's going to be bad. So you got to understand who you're getting married to. That's what's crazy. This next lady is going to give you figures about how much people spent about them getting divorced. It's just crazy. Watch this.
So how much does a divorce actually cost? 600 quid? 2 grand? How about near 100K? I recently wrote a piece for Stylist where I interviewed 10 very normal women working normal jobs on normal wages. We're talking nurses, teachers, paramedics. They told me how much their divorces cost them, and I was absolutely shocked. They also gave me incredible advice, and this is for people about to get divorced or for people in relationships who are ever thinking about getting married. More on this later. So according to the Holmes Race Stress Scale, divorce is the second most stressful life event a person can endure. It trails only behind the death of a spouse and ranks above severe illness, prison time, even the death of a close relative. I mean, we've all had horror stories from our parents, friends of friends, colleagues. So yeah, it checks out. So technically, the current cost of filing for a divorce in the UK is £612, and you and your ex can agree to split this fee if you're filing for a divorce together. But if this is the case, then what exactly drives up the costs? Well, it makes sense that legally dismantling a shared life can be complicated, even when the split is mutual and amicable. Now throw in blame, ill feeling, inability to communicate, affairs, cheating, kids, custody agreements, and property ownership into the mix, and it can get very messy. So one woman I spoke to talked about how her partner was lying about his finances, so they had to use a specialist divorce accountant. She had to take on 2 extra part-time jobs and work 7 days a week to afford all the fees. Another said that she tried to go into mediation with her partner, but her solicitor warned her, if your ex was controlling, manipulative, and played the victim during your marriage, he will be even worse during mediation. There's no point. Another had to change solicitors because they ramped up the cost when they saw her inheritance pot from when she lost her parents. Go and read the full piece because it's so eye-opening, whether you're married, whether you're getting divorced, whether you're single. But here is some of the amazing advice they told me. Do not make big decisions from panic. Get yourself into a place as soon as possible where you feel clear and in control. The decisions you make from there will save you thousands. Prioritize therapy and your mental health first. Another said, if you really need help but you don't want to pay solicitors' fees, use a Mackenzie friend. So this is in the UK. These are people who know the court system, so can give you practical advice to navigate it without the legal element. Another who estimates that she will have spent 90k by the end of it, 90k, when it's over, has said to me, honestly, if I understood the implications of divorce, I would not have married in a million years. Marriage is one of the few contracts where the small print doesn't appear until years later. Listen to this one. Everyone should have to learn about divorce before they marry. It's facts. Okay, I love this one. She told me, before marrying, talk to your partner about money and be very, very clear on your financial values. Keep your personal account and set up a joint account. Do not use your spouse's account. It limits any autonomy or access if they choose to remove you. This is such a great one. Listen to money mindset and relationship podcasts together. If your partner resists any of these things, it's a red flag. If you're divorcing, get therapy and a divorce coach before hiring a lawyer. If you decide to get a lawyer, interview several and trust your instincts. How do they make you feel? Are they listening to you? Speak to your GP about what you're going through and have regular check-ins. Medical records can be important in a divorce. And do not be bullied by your ex. I don't know about you guys, but I fully believe in prenups. I know they get a bad rep because people are like, oh, they're unromantic. Oh, you're planning for divorce. Your marriage is going to fail. You're jinxing yourself. Wake up. This isn't Enchanted. The birds aren't singing to you. A prenup to me is telling your partner we care enough about each other to be transparent and to protect each other no matter what happens. We want things to be clear and fair. I also think it strengthens trust. It shows honesty about your finances, your intentions up front. It's about, again, fairness and communication. And honestly, what could be more romantic than that?
Nobody talks about how hard it is getting divorced in the military. I'm prior service. I was divorced while I was in the military, and it was a nightmare. Throughout the entire process, you are held to the Uniform Code, military justice. She is held to nothing. She is held to freedom, civilian world. She's been cheating on you. She's been doing all these messed up things to you. You better not retaliate. She makes complaint. Chain of command gets involved. You get the book thrown on you, extra duty, whatever it is. Guess what? She makes a complaint. You guys already agreed on X amount monthly spousal support. She says you're not paying her, whatever. The military automatically grants her X amount of your hard-earned little E3, E5 salary, no matter if you're paying for rent and everything else, and she's a millionaire, she lives with her parents, whatever it is, you are cooked. You have to keep paying her that monthly until you spend more of your money to overturn that in court. There's 1,000,000% accountability for you, 0 for her.
Someone asked me, how do you afford a lawyer for your divorce? Bitch, ask people for money. Ask family for money. Get help if you have family that can help you. I'm not gonna lie. That's what I did. Do I have careers? Do I make money? Yes. But in that period of one, we had a mediator, so we went half and half. But I was saving money, but I also recognized that, a couple things. I still had bills to pay and everything to pay while I was in that transition and about to move out and divorce. I had to prepare for moving out. I had to prepare for so many things. And I was so fucking stressed out. I was so stressed. And I said, I just honestly, in meditation and just, my journaling, I kept getting the message to ask my sister. And I just asked my sister and she helped me out and I paid her back. And that was the best thing for me, because the moment I was able to realize and know that I had money to pay for the mediation, to get that process started for the divorce, and to pay for all the filing and all that, the stress that was released, I was so much more regulated and able to move forward. So if you are able, if you have a family member or people that can help you, who see you, who love you, and are able to help you, I say do that route. Sometimes we don't have people to help us, I get that, but think of alternatives, whatever ways you can get the funding, at least to pay for the lawyer, at least to pay for the divorce. So many people are doing this in so many different ways. You know, this is just how I did it. But the main thing is, don't get stuck, if possible, in that space of like, how am I going to find the money? What am I going to do? Create solutions. Figure it out. You can figure out everything else later on. But yeah, I mean, it's money well spent, is money well borrowed, because it leads you to the life that you want, the peace, the clarity. I don't regret a damn thing at all. I'm just thankful I had someone, my sister, help.
Paying for a divorce lawyer is no game. Look at this next clip. It's a little lightheartedness. Watch this. Me gearing up to hit send on an email to my lawyer with one question that would cost me $110. That's funny.
My divorce cost me $7,300 by the time all was said and done. And there were a lot of people who were like, oh, you made out good. Oh, that's not that bad. In what world is that not that bad when you are abruptly taken from being a stay-at-home mom to being thrown in all of this mess? He asked for a divorce while I was pregnant and while I was at my most vulnerable. And it's not something that I asked for at the time. It was not something that I wanted. It turned out to be one of the biggest blessings in disguise for me, because I probably would have never left. But yes, everybody's financial situation is different. But my thing is that at the time I was a stay-at-home mom and I did not have a backup plan. I didn't have just $7,000, $8,000 laying around to just spend. I didn't. I was fortunate enough to be able to get the retainer and to pay my lawyer throughout the process. He ended up not being able to afford his lawyer anymore, so that worked out in my favor. But the thing is, $7,000, and we really weren't fighting over much. All I wanted was time with my kids. So I can imagine if I would have been really fighting him over all of these different things, then it would have cost a lot more. Also, if he would have been able to afford his attorney, he probably would have took me up and through there, because that's what he was doing in the beginning of the process. He didn't think that I was going to be able to afford my lawyer and that I would actually go through with the process. He was trying to control me, but I matched his energy, ended up following through, and we're divorced because you're not going to play with me. At the end of the day, I'm saying all of this to say that if you're a stay-at-home mom, you need to have a backup plan. I don't care how much you think you're in love, how much you think that the relationship is going to work out, yada, 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 because I used to be that girl, okay? I never thought that my marriage would end up in a divorce, and I definitely was not planning on leaving. Although it was not a healthy relationship, I allowed a lot of stuff to ride that I should not have. But anyways, make sure that you have a backup plan, and that includes something financial, because a man can wake up any day and just say, I don't want to be with you anymore. I want to be with her. Or I want to go do this. I want to go do that. Pulling the rug right from underneath you. So just make sure that you protect yourself.
I ain't gonna lie, man. Y'all, before y'all get married, y'all need to see how much it costs to get unmarried, divorced. Because I remember I was helping my ex get like divorced and shit, and she was poor as fuck. And she was telling me all this stuff she had to do to change her name. Like, little shit like change your name back to your regular name on bills and shit. Cause your name, if you get your ID changed, your name got his name on it. It's just, when y'all get with this person, when y'all go to the courthouse, just remember, like, to get that shit changed back and like custody of the kids, that shit takes a lot of fucking money. So if you're broke, which a lot of us are, you might want to think twice about fucking signing that fucking paperwork to a nigga you like or a woman you like. Because once you done, I don't think you understand. It's going to be draining as fuck to get that shit changed. I bet you if I hit her up right now, her last name still ain't changed for that nigga name. I bet you. Because it costs too goddamn much.
Now, this is the reason right here why so many dudes ask for a prenup before they get married. This is the perfect example right here, y'all. Remember, at the beginning, it's all rainbows and sunshine. She's the love of your life. You do anything for her. And the thought of a prenup feels cold and unromantic. But let's fast forward this thing 20 years. And look what happens. Look at John Overdeck, y'all. First off, look how much John Overdeck is worth. Now, this 2 Sigma billionaire offered his wife $735 million in their divorce. $735 million. That's what he offered her in the divorce. She said no. She wants $6.2 billion. She wants $6.2 billion. Hold up. I thought you loved me. If it ain't about the money, what you doing? I just offered you $735 million. No. You want $6 billion? They got married in 2002, y'all, with no prenup. Now the trial's in full swing, and she's claiming 35% of his stake in the company. That's the difference between a prenup and no prenup. One protects you when things go left. The other leaves everything on the table. That's why you have to protect yourself, homie. The heart wants what it wants, but the wallet remembers everything. If you didn't know, now you know. And knowing is half the battle. Love y'all. Be safe out there. Big Ducat. You ought to know. Thank me later.
Hey man, y'all be careful out here in these streets, man. It can go good, it can go bad, like I previously stated. It just depends on the person that you're with, and you really don't know. At the end of the day, stuff can be all copacetic and be all good until something goes wrong, and now you're looking crazy. So that's just one of them things. My advice, it really is no advice. You just have to, I guess, know who you talk to the person for sure, and know who you're getting into it with. Really know. But even then, like I said, they can pull a switcheroo on you. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Y'all just follow your heart and your gut. It's been Josh and talk to him. Boy, if y'all know anybody going through this, or if you're going through this, unfortunately, if you are, I hope you're not, let me know down in the comments down below. Drop it down, drop it down, drop it down. Just be careful because you might regret it. Speaking of regretting, if you guys want to see people regret their career choice, click this right here. It's some drama and it's madness. I'll see y'all there. Peace.